Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Wow, I know I don't upload much on this channel, but I have so many videos just recorded, ready to be uploaded, and I don't know why, but like I don't know whether I should be editing my videos or not. Like I know like for example like last week one of my friends who also does YouTube, he's telling me like bro like your videos are good and whatever, but like you kind of yap in them. I'm just like I like yapping in my videos because it feels like a FaceTime. Like I don't want to freaking make it like I don't want to restrict myself, but in this video, I will stay more on topic, okay? This was such a big issue of mine. As far as I've spoken with many people online, whatever, this is an issue with so many of us. Bro, it's almost like, I don't know how to explain this, but we're not improving, we're not changing our lives, we're not becoming our best selves because of this reason. Okay, so what's the issue? The issue is we had our prime days, right? Like, I say prime days, they're not our prime days. But what I mean by that is like there was a time in our life when we were like him. Maybe there was not a time in your life, but most likely if you're watching this video, there's probably a time in your life where you're probably him. You know, there's probably a time when you were confident. There's probably a time when you were productive. There's probably a time when you were in high school or like middle school and you're good with getting girls, or you're just, I don't know, there's probably a time when you were getting extremely good marks, right? You're getting like A pluses and you're locked in, you're going to the gym, and then now you're like in university, maybe you've graduated, and then now you're just like a shadow of your former self. Now you're just wasting your day completely. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your your life. Your self-esteem is low. You're not confident. You're wasting like 12 hours in a day, whatever it is. I know because I've done it and I've spoken with people. That's why I can explain this so vividly. Maybe even like you might be even in like university and you haven't even touched the gym, the dumbbells for 2 years because I don't know, you're just a shadow, right, of your younger self. And you always look back at your younger self and you're always like, man, who have I become? I'm such a waste. Like, look how who I used to be. I used to be him. I used to be confident. I used to be that. And now I'm not him anymore. And because of that thinking, you don't become him. You almost think like, oh, once upon a time I was him, and that means I cannot be him like that anymore. I have a friend. He's one of my best friends. A couple of weeks ago, he's been going through like issues with like not being consistent, not going to the gym properly. And he used to say like, bro, I used to be like this productive. I used to be so locked in. I used to go to the gym. I used to have like this aura. I used to have like, this status at school when he was in high school. And then now I'm at university and I'm like away, I'm wasting my time and whatever, right? And I'm just like, one of the reasons why he's not being productive is because he's dwelling on his past. Imagine you're just comparing yourself to your younger self and you're like, oh, wow, he's so sick, he's so amazing. And then you compare yourself now, you put yourself down. And it might not be even your younger self, it could be someone else. You're hating on every bit of yourself. And because you hate on every bit of yourself, and I know I'm being like this freaking wishy washy, like, don't hate yourself. No, like, genuinely, I'm genuinely serious. Because you hate on yourself, that means that you don't actually do what is required. If you know what I mean. Because you're like, what's the point? I'm not gonna become him anymore. I've tried. I'm not gonna become him anymore. This is a big issue, bro. Like for example, that one friend of mine that was telling me I was talking to him further and further and further and further, and I was trying to get to the reason why he's not consistent on self improvement and whatever. And he was like telling me like, bro, I have to be like this man. I have to be like jacked. I have to be successful. I have to be a good student. I have to be 4.0 GPA. Like before, he used to be like a 4.0 or like a very high GPA back in the day, right? So again, going back to his old self, and he's like, I want to be like a 4.0. I want to be like this. I want to be like this. I want to be like this. And he's just talking about his former self and how great he was. He's talking about how like he needs to be like insane, and he's not anymore. And I'm telling him that's the reason why you're not even improving, because you set so many, like, he got to the point where he's not gonna study because he's not a 4.0 anymore. He's like, no, I need to be a 4.0. I need to be a 4.0. I'm not. I need to be okay. I get it. You need to be a 4.0. You need to be a good student. But then he doesn't study because he set such a high expectation of himself. Like, I gotta be a 4.0. And he set such a high expectation for himself that every single time he tries to study, he can't, right? Because it's such a high expectation. It's like saying, or imagine you tell yourself, you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna run 20 kilometers. And then tomorrow comes, and are you gonna run the 20 kilometers? No, you're probably 98% of the time, you're probably gonna do something else. That's just how it is. That is just how it is. Bro, like I speak on these videos like I'm just trying to speak to a brother from like probably like a young man, a young adult, someone in university, someone who's not in university. So I'm gonna be real, right? Like we need to be real. We're not gonna freaking run 20 kilometers, more or less, like maybe 1% of the, like, you know what I'm trying to say. But then here's the thing. You don't run 20 kilometers. So you tell yourself, you know what, I'm not gonna run at all. Or it's like going to the gym and you said, I need to bench 225. Or otherwise, I'm not gonna go to the gym at all. That's really, I was gonna say, that's like really retarded. That's really dumb. That's retarded as heck. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm sorry. Like, that's retarded. Because you set yourself as, like, you and all of us, we set ourselves such a high expectation. What the frick are we gonna do? We're not gonna study. We're not gonna be productive. If my friend over here is like, oh, I need to be like this, I need to be jacked, I need to be, again, why would he do it? He's put himself in such a big position. What if he just told himself, you know what, like I just, instead of being a 4.0, I don't give a crap about being a 4.0. I don't give a crap. I'm just gonna study for like 30 minutes just to catch up on my classes. That's it. Every single day I'm gonna study for 30 minutes, 1 hour. I'm every day. Not like a, it's not like exam time, so I'm gonna study now. No, it's like every single day, whether it's midterm season, whether it's final season, whether it's any season, I'm gonna study for 30 minutes. I'm gonna sit down every morning and do my deep work, which I am doing right now. I woke up, did my morning routine. I'm doing my deep work. Same thing. Deep work, whether I have school, whether I have YouTube, whether I have anything, I'm still gonna do some type of work in the morning, right? What some type of work that requires, like, thinking, that requires effort, that requires brain power. That is the most important work of the day. I'm gonna do that first things first in the morning. I made that a habit for myself 2.5 years ago, and it's been the same because I realized work is like one of the most important parts of my life. That's how I can make money, through YouTube, through, helping out the boys like you. There comes a time of maturity when you go from, like when we were younger, our work was video games. For most of us, it was video games. It was Fortnite. It was like that was our main work because, again, you have to remember, video games resemble work. Okay, video games resemble the idea of work. Video games give you a purpose. They give you a sense of progression. They give you something to build and to, like, get some, like, when I play Fortnite, like, I'm not just playing the game, I'm playing to become better at it. I wanted to go professional on Fortnite, so I was going in Fortnite in the morning. I would get up, my friend would call me, it would be like 11 a.m., it would be almost midday. Sometimes he would call me like at 9 a.m., and I would be like extremely sleep deprived, but then he would call me like, yo, get on Fortnite. Think about that. The first thing I would do is, before brushing my teeth, my friend would call me, get on Fortnite, and I would literally get up from my bed, turn on the PC, load up Fortnite, load up Discord, and I haven't even brushed my teeth, bro. Forget breakfast. I haven't even brushed my teeth. This Fortnite is like, it's like the same thing when, like, a millionaire, like, wakes up and all he thinks about is his business, and all he thinks about is, like, like his goals, his purpose. It's like the extreme thing. Work resemble. So think about that. Before, our work would be YouTube. Sorry, would be like video games, right? Because video games resemble it. Well, why do you do work? Because you want to progress, you want to make money, you want to get resources, you want to, obviously, right? So we need to replicate that in our day-to-day routine. Work should not be something that we do, whether it's for 4.0 GPA or whether it's for exams or midterms. I know it's midterm season, so we better be locking in, bro. I'm done my midterm, so you guys better lock in. But work should be a thing that we do every single day, no matter what. Sometimes I wake up, I do schoolwork. Yesterday, I did not record any videos in the morning. Or did I? No, I didn't. Yesterday, I went to class in the morning, and then after, I started working on my schoolwork. Sometimes work is YouTube. Most, like, today's the weekend, so I will put more time towards YouTube because this is my most important work of the day. YouTube is my most important work. It's literally, you know, my goal. So, anyways, going back to the topic, the lesson that you need to learn from this, please remove expectations of yourself. If you're someone who's like 25 years old, you're like depressed, borderline depressed, maybe you're not fulfilled with your life, maybe you see your body and you don't like what your body looks like, maybe you see your life, you don't like your life, maybe you're addicted to habits and you see hours and hours passing by every single day and you're living in mediocrity, but you cannot stand it. That's step number one. You're already there. I commend you for that. The fact that you already know, like, yo, this is not a good life already shows that you're already looking for answers. So number one, You're already like one step ahead most 25-year-olds, right? Number two, stop setting expectations. You don't like I know it's like wishy-washy, but you don't need to be perfect. Bro, the way I was able to stay consistent at the gym for 2.5 years straight. And I was consistent for like I keep saying this, but I was consistent for like 95 to like 97% of the 2.5 years. There's some months and stuff like that. Like there's some weeks where I wasn't that consistent. Maybe like last month I wasn't that consistent. I would skip workouts and stuff. And you know why? You know why I would skip workouts? Expectations. I had the same issue as I'm speaking to you about right now. I had expectations of like, oh, I'm not Hussein Farhat yet. You know Hussein Farhat, the fitness influencer, the guy who won like the guy's insane, insanely. I'll put a picture up. He's like my dream physique, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm not Hussein Farhat yet. And every single time I went to the gym, I kept calling myself small. And I'm not that small. I kept calling myself small. I kept calling myself like, oh, and I thought that was the meta. I thought that was the way, right? Body dysmorphia is the way to get muscle or something. It's freaking dumb. Obviously, like you're never gonna be super satisfied with your physique, but you can always acknowledge the fact that you're like for and at from that moment, from what I learned from last month, that's the reason why I had expectations. Oh, I'm not Hussein Farhat, so that means there's no point of going to the gym. Oh, I don't have a six pack with an insane physique, so that means that there's no point of going to the gym. You probably think like that. Oh, what's the point of going to the gym if I'm not my younger self? What's the point of going to the gym if I'm just a shadow of my Bro, how do you get to your younger self? Think about that. If you can do it once, can you not do it again? If you can become like him when you're like 16, can you not become him when you're like 22? You probably can. In fact, it'll be easier. You're just making it so much harder for yourself because you're like, oh, I can't like I have to be him or otherwise I'm not gonna do it. And then like you give up on the habits. You try meditation, you try these habits, but then you give up because you're like, oh, why am I not him? Do these habits to become who you're gonna be, not who you were in the past. Because every single habit, the word habit, you know what is tied to? It's tied to identity. Like we shouldn't use the word habit lightly. Habit literally habit means something you do every single day without even thinking. It comes automatically. That means that if you don't have to think about it, it's part of who you are. There's reasons why people have a smoking addiction and they have a habit of smoking because they're smokers, right? They call themselves smokers. They don't even think about it because it's part of who they are. It's part of their routine, day-to-day life. This is why like we have to use the word habit with more like respect because like I have a habit of drinking coffee every single morning. I don't even think about it. I wake up, I drink my water, whatever, I do my morning routine. While I'm doing my morning routine, I make myself a coffee. It's just part of my habits. I don't think about it. So a habit is so important because imagine you just do a bunch of good habits 30 minutes every single day. I've been going to the gym for 30 minutes. I've been going to the gym for 30 minutes. And I've been going to the gym for 2.5 years. And recently, I started going to the gym for 30 minutes every single day because I realized, you know what? I need to drop this freaking ego of mine. I need to tell this version of myself to shut up and go to the gym for why I started the gym in the first place. The reason why I started the gym was not because of a physique, bro. The reason why I started the gym was because it just gave me some level of purpose. The gym gave me purpose. The gym gave me meaning. Every single time I stepped in the gym, I felt like I was becoming a new man. A new man who's actually finally being productive with his life and his time. And slowly and slowly and slowly, the gym went from becoming something so wholesome, so great, so meaningful. It went from that to just chasing results, chasing results, chasing results. This happens with millionaires. This happens with people that have businesses. They start the business with the intention of helping people, and then slowly and slowly they start getting money hungry, money hungry, money hungry, and then they lose everything. They lose everything. I'm gonna make a separate video about this topic. I realized the last month that I should go back to the gym, not because of getting a Hossein Farhat dream physique, but rather I should be going to the gym because it gives me purpose and it helps me push myself and I feel a lot better after. I turned the gym from something that's just chasing results to just the gym is my life. I love it. I love the gym. I get to push myself. I get to see myself improve. I see, my muscles improving. That's what matters, bro. Forget any like dream physique. Forget all that crap. the gym matters to me. If inshallah, if God wills, I can't imagine myself like not going to the gym when I'm like older. I can't imagine myself not doing the gym when I'm like 40, 60, whatever. Like even if I have a like, when I have a wife and kids, like I can't imagine myself not going to the gym. And that's the difference between someone who does the gym for results because I need to be a 4.0 amazing man compared to someone who goes to the gym because the gym is just his life. It's just amazing. It just the gym is the end goal. Forget the results. And this is what I need you to understand. Drop that ego of yours. Please drop that ego of yours. Start doing these habits to become the man in the future, not instead of being the man in the past. Forget the man who you were in the past. Forget him. Remember your future and focus on your future. Focus on becoming your future self. Who can you be in 3 years from now? Not who you were 3 years from now. What how much change would your life be? How much different would your life be 3 years from now? It would be insanely different if you lived the self improvement lifestyle. So you know what? I've been doing something which is that I've been doing something called the progressive overload thing myself, and I've seen it really help me. So I'm gonna drop like a Google like Docs or something. Like I don't need your freaking email or whatever. I'll just drop a Google Docs of something that helped me. It's like a full progressive overload like tracker, and you can just follow that. You don't even have to like don't even like add your own habits. Just I'm gonna lay out a bunch of habits for you to do and just follow them. Honestly, like cause bro, like at this point you just need to be moved. Like after you can add your own habits and whatever, but for now just do these things. I'll put it in the Google Docs. Follow it week by week by week. It will be like a 3 week or 4 week thing, like a month thing, where every single week you progressively overload, progressively overload, progressively overload, and let me know how it goes. Actually, like comment down below, like yo, like Rayon, like this actually helped me so much. Like let me know, okay? Other than that, I'm done. I gotta go do my other work, and yeah. So I'll see you soon, bro, and stay safe. And yeah, bro. If you're Muslim, Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you soon. Also, follow my Instagram. First links description down below. All right, bye.